Hello, Colts Nation. What's up, No Horsing family? As always, this is the No Horsing Around podcast. I am one of two dudes talking Colts. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Burton. And on today's episode, you guys, it's the Colts versus Jags. It is Colts versus Jags week. It is week 18. Obviously, big, massive season, big game, huge game. So we're gonna kind of dive into it. It's not gonna be a it's not gonna be a long episode, but we're gonna kind of touch on a couple of different things. I want to preview the episode with you guys. Obviously, before we do any of that, please you guys like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to hear what your predictions are when we get into this. I want to hear who the players are to watch. What do you think? What do you think's gonna happen? Uh we want you to, as the button says, join the family. We're all about you guys kind of hopping on and subscribing and letting us know what you guys think, what your guys' process is, and how you think this team is going to perform this Sunday. Okay. So let's kind of go right into this, you guys. Colts versus Jags. On paper, the Colts should run the Jaguars out of the building, right? Like that's what you would think, right? Jaguars are 2-14. They are well out of the playoff race. They have fired their coach, which I joke. Me and Zach both have joked. I may or may not have called that. I did. I said I thought it would be a dumpster fire and that he would be fired midway through the season. I kind of backed off of it because I wasn't sure. I would love for him to still be coaching because I think he's a crappy NFL coach and just not good at his job on this level. So I would have loved for him to still be here because I think that team would be even more dysfunctional than what it currently is. But he's not. We're dealing with Trevor Lawrence and we're dealing with some good players. So team updates, obviously, we're looking like today, as of the recording of this podcast, that Eric Fisher is looking like he's going to be ready to play. Xavier Rhodes looks like he is not going to be in the lineup, which I don't know how I feel. He's underperformed, in my opinion, this year, and Isaiah Rodgers has looked really, really good. Uh, so I'm kind of twofold. I don't know, but on paper, you look at this. Like Colts coming off of a really bad loss against the Raiders. Jaguars have nothing to play for. The Colts should easily win this game. Let's go into this, you guys. Colts all time in Jacksonville are 10-10. Okay. Colts haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. And the overall record, 26-15. God, that's not it's not great. It's not great. Last year we went in Jacksonville to clinch the playoff to go. Year before, let's not forget, Jacoby Brissett couldn't get it done. Horrible loss. In my opinion, probably the loss that ended up losing him the kind of the starting quarterback position a little bit. He didn't look good in it. They looked bad. Ballard was at the game. He was unhappy. So on paper, you look at that, but then you just look at the history. You're like, man, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we're going to see what's going to happen in this game. Colts, it's a gotta have it. They're saying all the right things this week, obviously. They're locked in. They're focused. Last week potentially could have been kind of this mental reboot for them, this kick in the rear. Dan Orlovsky was talking about it on First Take, saying he thinks it could be the best possible thing to have happened to the Colts this season going into the playoffs was to lose that game and lose in the way that they did, where they didn't look ready to play. They didn't look, I think I said it in the recap. They looked like a team that had to have it but didn't want it, and the Raiders looked like a team that had to have it and took it. So let's kind of go in. Players to watch, obviously. Carson Wentz on the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. You want a little sneak one on the offense? I'll give you Michael Pittman Jr. I think he could have a big game. TY, because it could be his potential last regular season game as an Indianapolis Colt. He could have a big game. Defense, when you're looking at DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, they got to step up and play. Isaiah Rodgers is one that I think definitely has to step up. And Kwity Paye. I think Kwity Paye has really come on. That's another player to watch for the Colts. I think he's going to look to end his rookie campaign kind of on a strong note and prove that he was worth the pick that they spent on him. When you flip over to the other side of the ball, everyone knows there's a couple players on the Jags offense, right? So Trevor Lawrence, 3,400 yards, 10 touchdowns. He's not been great this year. I know a lot of people are going to say he's been dealt a really bad hand. I get it. But he's not looked like this generational talent that we're used to having seen and that we were expecting coming out of Clemson. He's not looked that this year, okay? So, and then obviously you have James Robinson. We know him well. He was undrafted free agent last year, led all rookies in rushing. He's got 8 touchdowns. He's deadly. Marvin Jones Jr. is another one. He's looked good in the passing game. All of it's null and void, right? On defense, you know who it is on defense. You got Josh Allen, Miles Jack. Those are some studs that they have on defense who continue to play well. But in the end, you guys, this is a game that you have to have. We've seen it all across social media. I've seen everyone talking about it. If the Colts can't beat the Jaguars in Week 18, they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I would probably agree. You're 9-8, and you've lost to a 2-14 team. You probably don't. There's some scenarios still that they can make the playoffs. Just go win. Just go win. Okay? That's what it is. You want my key to a victory? I think Carson has to play within himself. I think last week soapbox for like 1 minute, okay? 30 seconds. Dude's coming off of COVID. Look at the history of the quarterbacks who are coming off of COVID and how they played the following week. Aaron Rodgers didn't play great. Let's see how Kirk Cousins does this with the next game he gets to play, if it's this week. You just look at the players and how they've responded coming off of it, okay? It's not easy. You didn't practice together all week. So I think Carson has to have a good game, not a great game. I think you got to establish Jonathan Taylor. I think he's going to be the stud of the game. I think you look for him 150-plus yards, probably 2 touchdowns is my prediction for him. You got to do that. And then as far as defense to the offense, contain James Robinson and confuse Trevor Lawrence. He's shown to be confused pretty easily this year. Confuse him. Give him some different looks. Eberflus has done a good job of doing that for the most part, of kind of mixing things up. Let his playmakers be playmakers. Let that happen this week. Those are huge keys. Okay, so we're 9 minutes in, and I love all you guys. If you can't tell, I'm still struggling a little bit this week, but wanted to make sure that we did this. We're super proud of the fact that this is week 18. We have done 18 preview shows. We will have done 18 reaction shows. We will have made it as No Horsing Around podcast, myself and Zach, through our first full season. So I was determined to do this. Thank you guys for putting up with it. But let's get to the big one, okay? Prediction time. Who do I think is going to win? I think the Colts are going to win. And I teeter back and forth. Is it close? Because we haven't done well in Jacksonville. Is it a blowout? I think it's somewhere in between. I'm going to go 34-14 Colts. I see them looking to put the hammer down. They're super focused this week, it seems. They're very locked in. And this is not a good Jags team. So go and do your thing. That's what you have to do. So that's my prediction. As always, you guys, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me hear your predictions. Who are some players that you think are going to have big games? You guys know we love that stuff. With me quarantined and locked down, I'm going to try to respond to everything you guys put out there. I see it. I want to respond to it. And it's pretty easy for me to do. So let me hear what you guys have to say, okay? As always, you guys, like I said, we're super humbled. Like this is it. Like we made it, and you guys were a big part of it. We started this season kind of like very few, and now we're almost at 800 subscribers. So that's you guys, man. And we're humbled. Me and Zach are. I know he wishes he could be here. He's still feeling a little bit under the weather. So I know he wishes he could be here to say these things too, but we love you guys. Thank you guys for joining the family. Continue to do so, okay? And as always, I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out.